made me put the mask on. You gonna get what you asked for. See, it took too long. Now I'm drunk, nigga.
Dumile Daniel Thompson, aka MF Doom, born July 13th, 1971, died October 31st, 2020. When we talk about the most unique and respected rappers in hip-hop history, MF Doom is a name that instantly comes to mind. His intricate rhyme schemes, unmistakable villain persona, and ability to make words bend in ways no other MC could turned him into an underground legend. But for as much respect as he gets from true hip-hop heads, Doom never became a mainstream star. He never went platinum, had only one gold record, and was never mentioned among the biggest names in rap, despite influencing countless artists who did. It makes you wonder, how could someone so undeniably talented and original never reach mainstream success? MF Doom wasn't just another underground rapper who never got his shot. He built his own lane, created a character unlike anyone in rap, and mastered his craft with albums that are still dissected for their brilliance decades later. Despite all this, you won't find his name in the same breath as Jay-Z, Kanye West, or even artists who started underground but later crossed over like Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole. It's not because he wasn't capable, but because of a few key factors that held him back. Part of the reason was how he chose to present himself. Doom was never interested in being a mainstream figure. He hid behind a mask, rejected industry norms, and moved in ways that made him unpredictable, even sending imposters to perform as him at concerts. His music, though genius, wasn't designed for radio play or club rotations, making it harder for casual fans to connect with him. Beyond his personal choices, there was also the reality of hip-hop's commercial landscape. Mainstream rap has always favored accessibility, image, and marketability over sheer lyrical talent. Artists who prioritize storytelling, dense wordplay, and experimental production often struggle to break through, regardless of how skilled they are. Doom's career serves as one of the best examples. Even within underground circles where he was revered, Doom's music didn't always receive the full support needed to push him to greater heights. Despite his influence on future legends and his unmatched pen game, he remained in a space where admiration never quite translated into massive commercial success. To understand why Doom never became a household name, it's important to look at where it all started. His story didn't begin as the masked villain, it began with an entirely different identity, one that faced tragedy and reinvention before the world even knew him as MF Doom. What happened? Let's talk about it. Salute to True and Livin_ on IG for this request. It's your boy JC StuntedGrowthMusic. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. MF Doom is a rapper and producer born in London, England, and raised in Long Beach, New York. Before the metal mask and the villainous persona, MF Doom was Zev Love X, a young and hungry rapper from Long Island. In the late 1980s, he was a part of the group KMD alongside his younger brother DJ Sub Rock. The group was signed to Elektra Records and released their debut album Mr. Hood in 1991, gaining underground recognition. Just as KMD was preparing to release their second album Black Bastards, tragedy struck. Sub Rock was killed in a car accident in 1993. The loss devastated Doom, and to make matters worse, Elektra dropped KMD, shelving their album. Homeless and disillusioned, Doom disappeared from the industry for years. When he re-emerged in the late 90s, he was no longer Zev Love X, he became MF Doom, a masked, elusive figure with a sound and persona unlike anything hip-hop had seen before. His return marked the start of his legendary underground run. Stunt number 1, an uncompromising artistic approach. One of the biggest reasons MF Doom never became a mainstream star was simple. He never made music for the mainstream. In an industry that thrives on accessibility, catchy hooks, and radio-friendly production, Doom's music was the complete opposite. His beats were unpolished, his rhymes dense and complex, and his approach to rapping was more like an abstract painter than a hit-making musician. Doom's style was meant for listeners who truly studied hip-hop. His rhyme schemes layered multiple meanings into single bars, sometimes twisting words and phrases in ways that required multiple listens to fully grasp. He rapped over obscure jazz and soul samples, sometimes chopping them in ways that sounded intentionally raw and unpolished. To a casual listener, his music could feel confusing, even alienating. To hip-hop purists, it was a masterpiece, but mainstream success requires more than skill. Rap fans might respect lyricism, but mainstream listeners connect with hooks, melodies, and beats that can move a crowd. Doom's music wasn't made for the clubs, radios, or arenas. It was designed to be studied, not just consumed. Unlike artists who found a way to balance lyrical complexity with mainstream appeal like Nas or Kendrick Lamar, Doom never compromised his sound to fit the industry standards. Then there was his persona, the mask, the mystery, and refusal to engage with traditional marketing. Everything about Doom's artistry went against what record labels look for in a commercially successful rapper. He rarely did interviews and refused to show his face. This alienated casual fans who wanted a connection with the artist behind the music. By staying true to his art, Doom built an unmatched legacy, but it also ensured he would never be a mainstream icon. Stunt number 2, industry distrust and refusal to play the game. Beyond his artistic choices, MF Doom's reluctance to engage with the mainstream industry played a major role in why he never reached commercial success. After experiencing firsthand how record labels could destroy an artist's career, Doom never trusted the system again, and he made sure to operate outside of it for the rest of his life. His distrust of the industry started in the early 90s when Elektra Records shelved KMD's second album Black Bastards and dropped the group after his brother Sub Rock's death. The label considered the album's content and its controversial cover art depicting a Sambo character being lynched too risky for release. Losing his deal after such a tragic event left Doom bitter and disappointed. Instead of trying to get back into the mainstream, he disappeared from the limelight completely. When he returned, he wasn't just rapping. He was on a mission to outmaneuver the system that betrayed him. He embraced the underground completely, releasing music on independent labels like Fondulum, Stone's Throw, and Rhymesayers, keeping full control over his work. But this also meant he never had major label marketing, big budget promotion, or industry cosigns that could push him into the mainstream. His distrust extended beyond labels. He didn't trust the traditional artist-fan relationship either. Doom became famous for sending imposters to perform in his place at concerts, wearing his signature mask. This was part of his villain persona, but it also frustrated fans, promoters, and venues. In an industry where live performances are crucial for mainstream visibility, Doom's unwillingness to play the game cost him major opportunities. By rejecting the system, he protected his art, but at the cost of larger exposure. His genius remained niche, respected only by those willing to seek it out. Stunt number 3, lack of mainstream support for underground hip-hop. Even if MF Doom had wanted mainstream success, the industry and its fans have never fully supported underground hip-hop on a large scale. While he built an almost cult-like following among hip-hop purists, the mainstream rap audience, both fans and fellow artists, never truly rallied behind him the way they did for others who came from the underground. One of the biggest issues in hip-hop is that lyricism and creativity don't always translate into sales. The mainstream rewards accessibility, image, and big marketing budgets, leaving lyrical MCs like Doom stuck in a niche. Artists like Nas and Kendrick were able to cross over because they had major label backing, but underground legends rarely get that kind of push. Doom's complex rhyme schemes, abstract production, and lack of commercial appeal made it difficult for him to reach mainstream ears, even though his influence was undeniable. Another factor was the lack of strong cosigns from bigger mainstream artists. While MF Doom was heavily respected by artists like Mos Def, Talib Kweli, and Madlib, who were legends in their own right, he never got the kind of major artist endorsements that could have introduced him to a wider audience. Unlike artists who benefited from Drake or Jay-Z shouting them out, Doom's biggest fans were underground heads who didn't have mainstream influence. Even among underground hip-hop fans, there wasn't always enough support to push Doom to greater heights. The underground scene prides itself on rejecting the mainstream, but that also means it doesn't generate the same financial backing or exposure. Fans might praise an artist like Doom, but without strong sales, radio play, or industry attention, the mainstream will never acknowledge him. In the end, Doom's genius was never in question, but hip-hop's structure made sure it stayed underground. All in all, MF Doom never became a mainstream star, but his impact on hip-hop is undeniable. His uncompromising artistic approach, deep distrust of the industry, and lack of mainstream support for underground rap all played a role in why he never reached the commercial heights of other legends. But Doom never seemed to care. His mission was never about fame, it was about creating timeless art. Even without platinum plaques, Doom's legacy influenced an entire generation of rappers, producers, and fans who still study his music today. He remains proof that mainstream success isn't the only measure of greatness. While the world may not have fully embraced MF Doom, hip-hop's true students will forever recognize his genius. Salute, much respect, but for these reasons, his mainstream growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, StuntedGrowthMusic. Rest in peace to MF Doom.